Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I have been on here and posted something, but honestly it's because I have been healing and really doing the work and feeling the outcomes and the results of that work in such a magical way. So I'm just so excited to be back here. Even looking at the last few videos that I've posted, I feel like a different person in the most beautiful way, and I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, I'm back, I'm here, and what I really wanted to do was share with you all ways to heal, how I healed. In my journey, I was chronically ill, or I guess I should say specifically chronically in pain for about 7 years. I still have a chronic illness, but I've healed from so much of it, from my fibromyalgia, my IBS, my PTSD, from all of these things. I have healed from them, and what a beautiful thing. However, it took me a long time and I felt very lost and alone in the process. I didn't know what conditions I had in the first place. Getting diagnosed was really just me Googling over and over, trying to find something that kind of resonated, and then telling my doctor and hoping that they listen, and then they don't. Going back and forth in this process, and I just really wish I had a guidebook, a guideline, rules, just instructions on how do I navigate this, how do I heal from this, what's going on in my body, how do I heal. I got to this point that I'm like, I will do anything to feel better. Just tell me what it is. Like, I need to know what it is. So I really wanted to create resources and valuable content that actually helps you heal, and for a while I was working on an online course that I was going to sell to kind of go through the processes of all the things that helped for me, and all the most effective ways to heal. But then I realized that another thing I struggled with is that health has become paywalled, like information has become paywalled, and we've gotten into this time in our society where everything is about making money. And now it's like, if I want to heal or learn about something, I have to pay $50 or like $250 or thousands of dollars to work with a functional wellness coach, which it is very, very worth it. However, what if I just want to learn? Like, I just want to know more. Like, how am I supposed to find that coach if I don't even know what functional wellness is or what's going on with me? So I really wanted to be intentional about sharing this content in an accessible way so that we can actually heal, because healing and health should not be paywalled. It shouldn't be obstructed. There shouldn't be a barrier to feeling safe and happy and healthy. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to call this series Healing Holistically. That's what the course is going to be called. And every video I'm going to focus on a different segment, whether it's a framework or some sort of nutrition, spirituality, physical stuff, resources for therapy, how to navigate talking to doctors about this, what tests and results and things to ask for, all over the spectrum of wellness in the body. And also, as I go, just things that I find interesting that I think might be helpful. I think there's this understanding that wellness is so complex and interconnected, and the things that we choose can have effects on different parts of our bodies. So yeah, it's really interesting, but that's what I'm going to be sharing. So when I was reflecting on what really helped me and what was the game changer, what really kickstarted my health and my healing, leaving my chronic illness in the past, I really had to dig deep and think about what was that one thing. What is the first thing I would say to someone who wants to heal? And that is what this video is going to be about, and it's the victim mindset. And I want you to bear with me, because for a very long time, I really didn't like when people said, don't be a victim. It felt just very disrespectful. I've been through many traumatic things in my life, and I felt like people were trying to take it away or discount it or say that it didn't matter, because it does, right? Like, I felt the impacts of it. I felt the reactions and the responses from those things. So how can you tell me it doesn't matter? And I think it took me a long time to realize that what is victim mentality? What does that mean to be a victim, right? Like, for me, so much of my process of understanding my chronic illness was how to define it and understand it and then diagnose it. And I finally felt like once I was able to diagnose it and I could call it something, I could call it PTSD, right? As an example, then I felt validated in what I was going through, right? I could find community, I could learn more about it, I could understand myself better. The issue with this comes when we identify with our illness, right? When we say, I am traumatized, I am depressed, I am anxious. You know, when we believe that these things are who we are, because it takes away our ability to grow from it and let it go, right? When we identify with our illness, we become trapped in it, right? We can't let it go because it is us. Who are we without that, you know? So for me, it was understanding that what victim mentality is believing that you are the things that happened to you, and you're not. You are responding and in defense and protecting yourself from. Like, the body is so beautifully complex in the ways that it helps to protect you and talk to you and communicate with you, signal to you, hey, like, you know, for me, my chronic pain was, you're stressed, right? Like, you're activated, you're scared, we're tensing up to protect you so you can run and activate. And that became many years of chronic pain because I was so tensed up because I was responding to what I had been through. So what's important, again, about this victim mentality and how it can keep us stuck and trapped is that we shift the accountability away. We say, because this thing happened to me, I am. Because I experienced what I did, I'm sick. Because XYZ, sometimes we don't even know what it is. Maybe we say, because the universe hates me. I don't know why, but this happened to me. The most important thing for me in healing was understanding that I'm not responsible for what happened to me, but I am responsible for healing from it. We talk a lot about that in just healing, and when it comes to trauma, when it comes to your relationships, your children, you're not responsible for the traumas that your parents put on you, that you experience from them. But you are responsible for healing from it so that you don't pass that down to your children or, you know, whatever relationship or work. You are responsible for it. And when we are in our victim mindset and we believe that we are victims to these things, like I am a, you know, sexual assault victim, I am a victim of alcoholic parents, whatever it is, there's no room for action. There's no accountability. And so when we can break from this victim mindset and instead say, I am experiencing these things, we start to have an opportunity to grow and change. And let me kind of give you an example. So when I was working with a massage therapist for my chronic pain, one of the things she told me was that you need to envision what it feels like to do the things you used to be able to. In my case, I used to be a cheerleader. So she was like, imagine what it was like to do a back handspring. Imagine how it felt to put someone up in the air and be holding them. Imagine how it felt in your body. And I was like, what a waste of time. Like, how dare you discredit what I'm going through? I am in so much pain. I can't feel those parts of me. I'm never gonna feel good again. And you know, it's not my fault that I felt that way because that's what I was told. Everyone told me I was never going to get better. They told me that I was never going to be able to have children. This was something I was going to have to manage for the rest of my life. There are no answers. There are no cures. Your IBS is just something you manage. You know, your Hashimoto's is just something you manage. And so I felt hopeless. And I was like, well, this is who I am. This is my identity. So what do you mean I'm supposed to be someone else or do something? Like, that's not possible. Like, all you're doing is giving me false hope and making me believe in something that's not real. And I think that's the biggest part of the victim mindset, is that you lose hope. You believe that this is forever. And you cannot create a reality for yourself that you don't believe in. Like, perception is your reality. And I think that is such a deep concept that we could talk about another time. But what you believe to be true is. And that is how your body responds. So if you go around in this world saying the world is out to get me and I have been hurt by the world and there's nothing I can do to feel better, yeah, that's going to be your reality. But you are responsible for that perception of your reality, right? Ugh, and it's so uncomfortable to face that truth, because then you realize, no, your mindset, your thoughts, your pattern of thinking, you create that by not believing that it's possible. And I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot of stuff about Dr. Joe Dispenza and this idea of manifestation and this idea of gratitude. And I think we need to understand that our thoughts can literally change our genetics. We can change the way our body functions by the way we think. And so when we think nothing's going to get better, I'm going to be in pain forever, this stress and this hardship is a part of me, yeah, you're going to live a pretty sucky life. But when you're able to get past that and say, no, there is hope. There's always hope. And there are answers. And for me, that was really hard, right? Everyone told me it wasn't possible, but I was like, I can't live like this. Like, to me, it was like, okay, because I didn't start like this, right? I wasn't born in pain. And some of us do, and there are illnesses we're born into and things that we're born into that we perhaps can still change too. But for me, I wasn't born with this. Something happened that made me this way. And no one's telling me what that is. No one knows what that is. And so to me, it's like, if I was okay before, I can be okay again. There's something here. Like, this equation doesn't make sense. And so then I started saying, okay, who has healed from this? Tell me, there's got to be someone who's healed from this. What have they done? What did they do? And I started getting curious, and I started thinking, how can I take responsibility? How can I take accountability for this? What can I do? That's no longer victim mindset. I'm going to take responsibility for the situation I'm in and decide what I need to do to get better. And what I see so often is people just suffering, and it's self-perpetuated. You're not going to heal if you don't believe you can heal. And you're also not going to heal if you believe that the reason why you're sick is because of everything else around you, okay? Yes, maybe the food system is messed up. It sure is. Maybe your family is messed up. They sure can be. Maybe there's toxins in the air, and there's all these things that we can say, I'm sick because. But you have responsibility for that. You can learn the nutrition system. You can learn what you need to eat to heal. You can learn why sleep is important and why you need better sleep. You can go through therapy, and you can do the things that you need to do so that you can fix your relationship with others and your parents, etc. You can do that. And so many people are just trying to find the answers without doing the work. They will pay so much money. They will do the supplements. They will do the training programs. They'll pay for the coaching. They'll do all this stuff so that someone can fix it for them. And that is victim mentality, believing that someone else is the answer because they're not. You are the only one who can heal you. Right here, that's all you need. It's inside of you. Your healing powers, your abilities, the answers are inside of you. So as long as we're looking outside, we think, well, something else out there hurt me, so something else out there needs to fix me, then it's a never-ending cycle. I think for me, it was really interesting to know that, let's say when it comes to trauma and PTSD, right? Trauma is not an incident that happens, but it's our reaction to that incident, right? It's an inability to cope. So by default, it's not the situation or the thing that happened, it was my inability to cope. Am I saying that I wasn't good enough or I didn't do enough or whatever? No. But I'm saying that it's my reaction that is the trauma. And so I have the ability to heal that because I can work with that. And so it's this mindset that just changes everything. And I think that's the number one thing you need to know if you're gonna heal and you're going to try to heal and go through these processes of these changes and whatever, because as long as you look outside and as long as you believe that you are a victim and as long as you identify with your illnesses, they will be a part of you. And so shifting from the side of I am healing, I am healed, to I'm trying to heal, I want to heal, I have these things. No, I'm experiencing these things. I am healing from Hashimoto's. I don't have Hashimoto's. I'm not a Hashi, whatever, spoony. I am not that. I am so much more than that. I am healing from that. I am working through that, right? It's a different perception. So I'm rambling a lot, but that's all to say that our mindset is important, okay? When we're trying to heal, mindset is 80 to 90% of the game. And it's really hard to confront, and it feels really uncomfortable. But I just want to say here that the things that happen to you are so valid. And the way that you're experiencing and responding to them are also so valid. I am a sensitive, empathetic, easily overstimulated creature. These are my characteristics, and I know that. And so I have to do certain things and be intentional about certain habits and behaviors and exercises and whatnot to get myself to a space where I function well. And I recognize that. And that's me taking accountability for who I am. And that's okay. And as I've gone through this process, I've gotten more tolerant to stress, right? I've become less sensitive. I've done all these things because I'm not attached to these characteristics, but I use them to be curious and to help me learn and get to the next phase. So that was a lot. And I'm very grateful that you are here and that you've come to the very end of this video and are watching this. I hope that this little nugget of wisdom was helpful for you. If you are interested in continuing to hear more on this series of Healing Holistically, definitely subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. I would love for you to comment and tell me how this resonated with you, if it kind of changed your perspective on victim mindset, or if you're like, no, that is not for me, like, let's have a conversation about it. I think it's so important to dialogue and be open. So I hope the biggest takeaway that you get from this video and all of these series and all of my videos and just everything about me is that healing is possible. Healing is always possible. Always have hope. I'll see you next time.